Hello everybody and welcome to How To Zeepkist Season 1 Bank Turns. Let's go. So this one, there are some inner wall rides that I still don't do even. They're not great. I don't enjoy them. But the map itself's great for, I think, a bit of a different style of bank, because like this is still a flat piece, but it's being used to transition into other bank pieces, and you're dealing with that change in height. Again, with most of these things, you're trying to avoid airtime. Certain things you can try and jump off, like right here maybe, but I don't think that really works too well on most of this map. So most of this map, the entire time, I'm going around and I'm going wide to try and avoid airtime, and then cutting in and trying to stay going as straight as possible. Like right around here, of course, you can try and start wide and cut in a little bit more. We're gonna keep going around. There's a little bit of jump here. If you can try and land on this downhill, it'll be a lot faster. This part can be a little bit difficult. It's an outer like sausage almost. It's like a convex piece like we were seeing before. And by hugging this inside, you're able to turn still, but you have to try and get over slowly. You can either do what Cheddar Fox did or try and go wider. I think the way Cheddar Fox did that was a little bit faster than going wider. And we're going to be trying to avoid any kind of air time, staying as slow as possible, flipping over as usual. This turn we're going to start wide and then cut in, and then we're just going to try and stay as low as possible all the way to the finish. So just going to go over what we just went over. No avoiding air time. Cutting into these apexes. That's what I mentioned before. It's like kind of like going wider, so you can kind of get onto that inside first. A lot of these tracks also, like trying to go faster, like I said, it can be risky, to the point of accidentally clipping a corner or a wall, or falling off the track even. And that's why a lot of times outside of like the top players, you're gonna see a lot of the faster players taking a little while to actually set a run down. As you get better and you start recognizing what a good run or a bad run is, a lot of times you're just gonna find yourself restarting a lot, and a lot more than you would expect yourself to. And the only reason why is because you might know, okay, this run right here isn't the best and I can do better. So instead of completing it and setting down a mediocre time, we're just going to sit down and restart until we have a good run, so we can set down the best time possible in this given time, and give yourself a little bit more time to try and perfect those lines. Now, in something like Cup of the Day, that's not always the case. Setting a time down is important. However, especially as you get later on, there's going to be times where it's like you have no choice but to set a good time down. So that definitely is a case-by-case circumstance. And it's important to remember what your current goal is for that map. Is it just setting a finish like I am with most ZDL? Or is it, you know, trying to set a world record, or trying to set a PB, or trying to win the lobby? Because those ones you're going to want to be a lot more picky on. If you're hunting a world record, if you're behind what splits you would want, well then, you know, what's the point of finishing that run? Try this little drop here. Got a little bit of airtime, not great, but it still works. If you have a small amount of airtime, it usually doesn't kill your runs unless you're, again, looking for those last, like, milliseconds. Just to kind of show you guys, that little jump there, the problem is, like, there's not really a great way to get that downhill. So by doing that, you're typically going to be losing speed. You see, yeah, I'm -1 speed, and that was a decent start. It is possible. Oh, there's another fun one with these turns. if you only clip like one of your wheels on the inside, kind of like you were about to go do an inner wall ride, what can happen is it will spin you out. I'm not a fan of that drop down, and the reason why is because you have to take a weird line. I'm gonna see what Hydro's doing here. He is doing that little first inner, and okay, maybe I'm not watching him. Like I said, that's something that you're gonna be trying to do sometimes, is watching who, you know, some of the faster players, seeing what they're doing to get those times. I'm convinced that little drop down is slower. It doesn't set you up well for the next turn, and like I've said before, that's where like you can see something that would typically be good in most maps, something that would be faster. And sometimes just because of the way that the map is laid out, all of a sudden that technique isn't actually faster. It's particularly weird on an icRS map not having one of those drop downs be faster. However, it does happen. This drop down is going to be a little bit better because you're able to set up for this turn a little bit better. I'm taking these lines a little bit differently, just trying to figure out like maybe if I do it this way or that way, it's going to be a little bit faster. I'm playing around with that. That's how a lot of like different lines end up coming about. And I think that's really good way of becoming a better player and being able to read the maps, is just trying different things and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And sometimes like that, I've got no idea where I got that extra speed from. I was probably slightly cleaner on my run, but there's not a whole lot there that I did differently. So with this, I noticed that apparently if I kind of do this rollover a little bit later, it actually gives you more speed. And that right there is another perfect example of trying to go a little bit wider maybe, so that you can start your turn a little bit sooner. Get your rotation in your kart going. Notice how on that turn I'm purposefully going up in elevation slowly so I don't get any air. Also notice how like as you get that extra speed, it can actually cause some issues in your runs where you're gonna have to almost like relearn the lines that you already knew. And there's gonna be points where your fastest run is taking a line that you just cannot physically take if you're on a better run. I accidentally got that inner. Those inners can be really dangerous on these kinds of maps. Either you have to go full send and actually go for them, or you're gonna not be able to do it. I would like to thank everyone for watching the video, and if you are new here, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.